Hello, welcome. So today we're going to be taking a look at stories about Kevin, and I'm so excited. I was having a little mooch on stories about Kevin yesterday, funnily enough, because me and a friend have been talking to a real life Kevin that we know, who would be perfect for that, honestly. And I was having a mooch because one of you guys had mentioned taking a look at stories about Kevin, so of course I was going to. And I'm just so excited to share some of these stories with you, from the titles alone, honestly. Genuinely, we're going to have a good time today. So if that sounds like something you'd be into going through with me today, then please do stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Thank you. No, seriously, subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 before my birthday. I say we, it's the royal we, and I mean me. But I can't do it without your help, you know? So if you haven't and you listen regular and you want to, I would be super appreciative, honestly. Anyway, enough of the waffle. We all know what you're really here for. So, first post posted by Reddit lurker 1,100,000? I don't know. I'm looking at it and it's like the zeros are blurring together. This is also not at all important. Anyway, college Kevin doesn't know college is Christian. Okay. So, back in my freshman year of college, this was a very openly Christian college. I met Kevin in my dorm. Kevin didn't know that our college was a Christian college. It's literally used in all the promotional materials. Despite this, Kevin was convinced it was just a standard New England college. Here's a list of things that really made Kevin a Kevin. Number 1, Kevin thought the logo that prominently features a cross as the main symbol was just normal New England symbolism. Direct quote, by the way. Oh, God. 2, Kevin didn't know that the college had a Christian code to follow. This includes stuff like don't be gay, attend student chapel, no sex, drugs, or alcohol. Don't like the don't be gay one. That's very prejudiced now, isn't it? Not surprised, though, to be quite honest. 3, Kevin, despite the school code, had regular alcoholic and drug-fueled raves on campus and was surprised when the relatively tame raves were severely punished and claimed he was targeted and discriminated against. Kevin was the whitest man to exist in a very white school. Oh my goodness. 4, Kevin didn't know what church was. This idiot didn't know what a church was outside a general Vermont vibe. The college is not in Vermont or in any way connected to Vermont. What? 5, Kevin thought normal prayer in Bible classes taught by ordained pastors who very publicly mention that they attended the connecting seminary that shares a name with the college about the Bible constituted a cult run by the college. 6, Kevin thought the seminary, which shared the same name as the college and is one of the most prominent North American seminaries on the continent, was trying to take over the college. 7, Kevin wasn't a Christian, but decided to come to the dry, conservative, evangelical Christian college that outright bans most form of parties for the parties. This is only a handful of things that Kevin believed, and there are many more that are somehow more confusing and very dumb. I wonder, okay, bit of a theory here. I wonder if Kevin's parents were like really conservative and Christian and wanted him to go to that college. So they kind of just told him, oh yeah, it's like a normal college. It's just an everyday college. So that Kevin thought that he could go there and party hard and what have you. And they were thinking Kevin couldn't possibly party hard there. And then, you know, fuckery ensues. So down in the comments, Doom Rabbit says, sounds like someone had a rich aunt, uncle, grandparent pay their way into the school. Yes. Know the school and the type. Kevin is not on the 4-year degree track, and the person paying thought that this would turn their life around. My theory too. Throwing good money after bad. And then the OP says he was one of the younger freshmen, and also his parents ran a huge car dealership somewhere outside of New England. That's about all I know about his family money. So yeah, basically he has rich parents and they paid his way in, because I'm sure And I don't know how these things work because obviously, 1, I'm not American, 2, I'm not Christian, and 3, I've never paid any attention to any sort of religious colleges. But I'm sure for stuff like that, I've heard they have like certain criteria for being able to get in. Like you'd have to know and prove you know about or follow Christianity, would you not? So I'd love to know how they swung that with the way this Kevin is. But yeah, goodness me. Next post, Snowy Pink Leopard posted, Kevin did 16 years of high school. 16 years of high school. Oh my goodness. I worked with a Kevin years ago. Here are just a few things that live rent-free in my mind. Kevin took a college-level computer class in 2010. The only thing they taught was how to turn on the computer. They swear that was the entire hour-long class 3 times a week. Pushing a button and sat there. Okay, Kevin, not my student loan, so learn whatever you want or decide to not listen. It's up to you. That is wild. Kevin said their wireless mouse was too heavy to lift up to take out the AAA batteries and replace. Kevin also drank water from one of those huge metal old Nalgene bottles that probably held 40 ounces of water. Kevin put that above their mouse and lifted that multiple times a day or even an hour, but the mouse once every few months was too heavy. Sounds like Kevin was engaging in a little weaponized incompetence to me. I'm wondering if Kevin knew exactly what he was doing. Kevin went all 4 years of high school in a town an hour away from my school. They also went all 4 years in South Cali, but couldn't name a city. They also went all 4 years on the North Coast. Where? It's on the coast. Finally, they coincidentally went 4 years at my high school, but had no clue what I was talking about when mentioning some well-known quirks of the school. All 16 years and couldn't even learn their cities' names. Now the computer class makes sense. Kevin failed their driver's license test in their town a few times, was told that in order to pass they need to go take it in another town that was bigger. I'm sure that was the only thing that they failed, was that the town wasn't big enough for a test. Even though thousands of people have passed it there and get their license there, it has its own DMV. Kevin said that they couldn't work in an environment that was above 71 degrees. I'm guessing that's Fahrenheit. What's 71 degrees in normal UK measurements? 71 Fahrenheit to Celsius. There we go. Thank you, Google, because I can't spell Fahrenheit, apparently. Oh, 21 degrees. That's not hot at all, is it? Let's be honest. And I'm from the UK, and if it gets to like 30, then yeah, I'm crying. But yeah, 21 is not hot. Even I would say that. And you know, everyone says us UK people are pussies when it comes to getting warm. Anyway, back to the post. We went on a tangent there just a little bit. But also, couldn't work when it was under 72 degrees. Whether it was summer or winter, 73 was too cold and 70 was too hot. Huh? What? Yep, I typed that correctly. 73, too cold. 70, too hot. Can't work above 71. Can't work under 72. I let maintenance deal with that. I didn't touch the thermostat. Not my monkeys. Not my circus. Wow. Kevin also refused to wear more than a light hoodie in the snowy, cold, -0 degree weather. No hat, 0 gloves, no scarf, cheap shoes. Then complain all day long how cold they were. Yep, I could see that being a thing. Don't worry though, they bragged about how they would warm up before bed by putting a space heater under the sheets before they got in bed. Okay, class, please don't do that. Okay, that is the best way to set yourself ablaze. Not an electric blanket, but a space heater. I don't even know how that would work with their safety features nowadays, but I'm sure with their 16 years of high school, they figured out a way. I think Kevin just spouts a load of nonsense and wonders what he can get people to believe, because surely not. No one's that dense. I mean, I know that they really are, and it worries me a lot, but I like to gaslight myself into thinking that people are not out there that genuinely think like that. It makes me feel better. So, down in the comments, Slightly Odd Gent said, a rather impressive Kevin. Almost an oxygen vampire, really. And then the OP said, they really felt like the energy vampire from What We Do in the Shadows. Next post, posted by Low Kaleidoscope 1933. Kevin refused to pay for dinner, but booked a hotel room. Before the first date. I knew a Kevin at work, and boy was he something. Once he got a match on a dating app and lined up for a dinner date. He told us, completely seriously, that he wasn't going to pay for dinner, but he had booked a hotel room nearby. His logic: I won't pay if I can't get any, but if she's up for it, I'll be ready. Oh my goodness. We desperately tried to explain how terrible this idea was, but he wouldn't budge. The day after the date, we asked how it went. He said the girl was too much into him, so he ghosted her. Yeah, right, Kevin. We're all pretty sure she ran for the hills after meeting him that one time, and honestly, good for her. Yeah, I think that's probably how it went too, to be fair. Update 1. I forgot to mention an important detail. One of Kevin's dating profile pictures was a photo of a model surfing. It only showed the guy's back, but it was clearly not him. We eventually found the original picture. He also claimed to be a manager. Spoiler alert, he was not. Now for the real kicker. Kevin had a tough time fitting in at work. People already disliked him, but he really sealed the deal one day in June, during Pride Month, when he confidently told that LGBTQ+ people were unnatural. I mean, you only have to take a look around at history, cultural history, even animal history to find out that it's very natural. His reasoning: ions are attracted to opposite charges, so humans should be attracted to the opposite gender. I wish I were joking. Working with him was a complete mess after that, yeah, I can imagine. Unsurprisingly, he was let go not long after, but instead of owning up to it, he told a co-worker that he chose to leave because the work wasn't challenging enough. Then he asked if he could sue the company for wrongful termination. To the same person. Update 2. I'm sorry, I just remembered another Kevin gem. I had so many of his stories that my friends would chant Kevin, Kevin, Kevin whenever they saw me. They were honestly sad when he left for good. Anyway, one day Kevin started telling us about his dating preferences. He was 27. And he said he was looking for age 25 and up. I am genuinely surprised that he was looking for an appropriate age, to be fair. I honestly thought the OP was just going to say, yeah, he wanted to date like teenagers, because that seems to be the way these stories go all the time as well. So I'm very relieved at that. He was willing to date women in their early 30s because, and I quote, women start losing value at 25, so I have a better shot with them. Oh, young women are just looking for fun. They're promiscuous. They disgust me. He also firmly believed that everyone absolutely had to be married by 30. No exceptions. Like it was a hard deadline written into law. He refused to believe that some people marry later or even never. I was sipping tea whilst listening to all this, and I honestly had no idea how I didn't spit it out from laughter. Or anger. Wow, honestly, these Kevins are insane. So down in the comments, a deleted user says, dry as dust after reading this. And then Bookish Bitchery says, as dry as the Sahara Desert. And then Puzzle-Headed Bobcat 90 says, I crossed my legs and tumbleweed fell out and blew across my living room. It's so dry down there that Rick O'Connell is looking for Imhotep. It's so dry, a bunch of mushrooms It's so dry, a bunch of mushroom-tripping New Age hippies tried to set up a music festival. Oh, stop. Next post, TwinMum823 says, Kavina doesn't understand basic biology. Ooh, we have a Kavina. This just happened and I have no words. My 4 children are transferring schools at the start of this year. I filled out all of the necessary paperwork online. Today, I get a call from the registrar, Kevina, asking me if my husband Bob is the biological father of all 4 children. Now, for context, the 2 oldest have my last name and the 2 youngest have his. I can understand the confusion. I explain that yes, all 4 have the same biological mother and father. Because we were not married when the oldest were born, they have my last name. Fair enough. I can understand why there might be a bit of confusion there, actually. Kavina then proceeds to tell me that because they have different last names, Bob will have to be removed as the biological father of the 2 oldest children. I explain that she has copies of the children's birth certificates and she can confirm that he is listed as the father of both children. She confirms and life goes on. For about 10 minutes. Kavina, I noticed that there is no father listed on the birth certificate for the youngest child. Me. Oh, you were correct. The plague. I'll send you over documentation. Also, I'm guessing that they weren't able to go together to do the birth certificate, so that's why. Another 10 minutes. Kavina, the documentation you sent is from 2021, so I can't use this. Me. The documentation is from when the paternity test was completed. Are you saying we have to complete a new paternity test? Why was there a paternity test done in the first place? I am confused. Wait a minute. Am I being a Kavina? I am confused. Why would there need to be a paternity test? Because of the plague? Someone please enlighten me. Kavina. No, nothing like that. But because the document is more than a year old, we can't accept it. Me. The birth certificate that you used to verify paternity for my oldest 2 is from 2011. Kavina. Yes, but that is a birth certificate. Me. And this is a court order establishing paternity. Youngest child didn't get a new biological father since 2021. That isn't how biology works. Kavina. Well, there is no way to be certain that nothing has changed since 2021. Ah, yes, I've just completely swapped DNA. That was a wild time. Me. The sperm that fertilized my egg doesn't change because time has passed. Kavina. But we can't really know that without updated documentation. I'm not very hopeful that my children are going to receive a quality education in this new district. Yeah, me neither. So, down in the comments, Jaska E says understanding is not in Kavina's contract. Hopefully teaching isn't either. Yeah, hopefully Kavina is purely just like receptionist, admin, and doesn't touch teaching. And then the Filthy Dill says, don't bet on it. My high school had the football coach teaching world history. His method of teaching was to stand in front of the class and read the textbook aloud. Texas with rolly eyes emoji. And then the OP says, my US history teacher was the basketball coach and this was his method as well. I failed US history but went on to major in history. Fair enough. I still want to know what the deal is though with the paternity test. What's the story behind that? Next post, posted by Sarcastic the Cat. Kevin nearly dies again. Kevin, male 18, is my brother. He is deathly allergic to all nuts, and I've probably saved his life at least 3 times just by telling him to read the ingredient label. Yep, you read that right. Kevin doesn't read the ingredient label regularly. Things this quirk of his has led to. 1. Kevin was working over the summer. Kevin went to 7-Eleven for his lunch break. Kevin eats a sandwich that, unbeknownst to him, is full of sliced walnuts. Walnuts are the nuts Kevin is most allergic to. Just hearing the word sandwich, for some reason, by the way, has just put an image in my head of an egg mayo sandwich, and now I want one so bad. But it is nearly midnight, and that would be a bad idea, I do believe. Walnuts are the nuts that Kevin is most allergic to. Faced with an incoming allergic reaction, Kevin decides to drive home. Kevin passes out as soon as he's home. Kevin would have probably died if there was a bit more traffic. 2. Kevin goes to a restaurant in China. Asian foods are notorious for not particularly pandering to allergies. Kevin knows this. We are Chinese. We eat food that we chose because we knew it wouldn't have nuts in. Kevin finds it spicy. Kevin grabs a random drink from the cooler. Kevin somehow ends up drinking peanut milk. Our family gets to tour the local ER. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I have heard that about like China and a few other Asian countries, but I'm sure I heard it was because actually the rate of allergies is a lot lower over there. Like the percentage of people that suffer with allergies is a lot lower. I don't know, I might be wrong on that one, but yeah, I'm sure I heard that not so long ago. Someone correct me if I am wrong, feel free. Bonus story. Kevin took a math test. Kevin gets punished for the grade by his dad. Kevin complains about it. The grade, an 8. An 8 out of what though? Because that matters. That does matter. Edit. After the second story, Kevin did the exact same things a few days later. Flipping it, Kevin, do you actually want to be on this earth, mate? I do wonder. So down in the comments, Cheryl Lucy says, an 8 out of what? I'm hoping a 10, but knowing 100. I'm also really hoping it wasn't multiple choice. And then the OP says 100, probably not multiple choice. And then General Clumsy says 8 out of 100. Yeah, no wonder he got chewed out. I mean, to be fair, some people are just not good at maths. I be one of them. Thank goodness for calculators. That's all I can say. Maths is one of those things that's always gone right over the top of my head. English literature, I got like nearly an A in. I was real good at that. Art, yep, good at that. Science, yeah, I was good at that, but I had to have the attention span on the day. Maths, no. Straight over the top of my head. And I was a complete little troublemaker in my maths class as well, which don't do that, boys and girls. You must sit down and concentrate. And I'm such a hypocrite, right? Because now I'll say to my kids, like, if they're like, oh, I hate maths, it's really boring, and I'll be like, no, you need to concentrate, you need to listen, you need to try. I'm not one of them parents, by the way, who ever says to my kids, like, you need to get top scores, you need to be doing this and that. I'm just like, you need to just do your best. As long as you try and you do your best and you make an effort, I can't ask for any more. However, I'm sitting there telling them to do this when I was literally one day when I was in maths, I was so bored that me and my friend decided we were going to army crawl on our bellies out the classroom and see how far we could get down the corridors before anyone noticed us. We got as far as the science rooms. Honestly, we were such little turds. We really were. Okay, I think that's all we've got time for today. I would love to read some more stories about Kevin though, so I might have to do another video on them. That was too fun. It was too fun. Anyway, if you made it all the way to the end with me, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you give a little like, subscribe, notifications on, leave your offering to the comments for the algorithm gods. That'll be your initiation into the common void. Welcome. Whatever it is you're doing for the day, I hope you have a really good rest of the day. Goodbye.